So to recap really quick here, AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action. We saw how it's at play at a really macro level. I always mix those up. Macro level. Let's look at it at a micro level. So on your LinkedIn profile, let's say someone has typed in product designer and they land on Meredith's profile. AIDA is happening. Something about Meredith's profile catches the person's attention. Probably the part that says principal product designer with 8 years of experience in B2C health, fintech, and finance. That headline is probably what caught their attention because frankly, like that's all the content there is at the top of the page, right? The headline and then the banner graphic, right? That alone could make the difference as to whether or not they keep scrolling and or skimming down your LinkedIn profile. But because this headline caught the attention, they keep going. And because Meredith filled out all the education with probably just content from her resume, that starts to get people more interested. And then that recruiter's like, they really seem like they match what is in the job description. That desire builds and they take action and they click message and they send Meredith a message. Just as we saw with Laura, who had the CEO reach out to her on LinkedIn about the role, and the person earlier who got hired into that STEM role because the recruiter found them and their LinkedIn profile talked about STEM. All right, next one. Also on LinkedIn, like sometimes the interest and desire are not really happening. Let's be real. Because if someone searches for a principal product designer and this is LinkedIn search results, like these are split-second decisions, right? All they have to decide if they're going to click someone is essentially the photo, but more importantly, the headline, which to say it again, principal product designer with 5 years of experience in B2C health, fitness, and finance. And then they're like, I'm clicking or I'm not. So same thing with resume. We saw this earlier. In this case, like, whoops, something about the top of the resume, like this part catches their attention. Now, what could possibly catch their attention? It is this text here. It says, the gray text, I'll read it. I'm an end-to-end product designer with 5 years of startup experience. I have a BFA in art and design and love diving into the data so that together we can build products that empower others or users. Anyway, that caught someone's attention. Probably the part about end-to-end product designer with 5 years of startup experience and potentially the BFA in art and design. So that alone creates attention, draws them in. They actually read the bullet points. They don't just skim them. Then in their head, that desire is building because they're like, wow, with every bullet point, they're thinking this matches the job description and so does this and so does this and so does this. And then they take action and maybe they invite you to that initial screener call, right? So that is AIDA happening at a really, really micro level.